new episode. Know you probably waiting. Plant a seed in your brain, let me pollinate it. And I'm not like the rest, I don't do the faking. You are now tuned into Bro Conversations. Hey, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Oh, am I loud? Am I too loud? Hey. I don't know. Oh, it sound like echo. Fuck it. Hey. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? I'm your host, OG and the studio is looking a little different. I added extra light. There's a little mini Pixar light over here. Got a light over here. I just want to see how it look in the end. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying different shit around. But anyway, hey, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? I'm your host, OG and you are now tuned in to the world's most poverty-stricken podcast. We broke. We have no money, no savings. Like, nigga, we broke. Anyway, I hope everybody doing good, feeling good out there, and yeah. I hope everybody doing good, feeling good, got something to sip on, smoke on, whatever you're doing, whatever you ain't doing. Go ahead and be productive. Fuck procrastination. That's the shit that can kill a nation. No cap. But anyway, let me jump right into it. First topic on the motherfucking docket. Hold up, this shit sound crazy. It was just on the night. TMZ reports Jay-Z's 6-year flip of Tidal streaming service is now complete. He closed the deal to sell the majority of the company to Square for $350 million. Square gets 80% ownership of Tidal, along with licensing deals with the major record labels, and all the artists and owners will remain with the company too. I ain't gonna lie. When I first read this, when I first read this and I actually got a second to process this shit, I kind of thought it was bad because first of all, black people don't own many things, especially when it comes to media and shit like that. And Jay-Z is one of the few people that got the influence and got the money, you know what I'm saying? All that shit add up to do what he's doing and take a step out and venture out and, you know, stuff like that. I was upset, but at the same time, that's black generational wealth. That's more money going to a college fund that we probably never know about. You know what I'm saying? That's another school probably, you know, being built or just more stuff in the market. And another thing is I can't 100% feel that way because the fact that he made this much on this. For me, if I decided to follow in his footsteps, even to the T exactly, I followed the blueprint, no pun intended. But if I followed the motherfucking blueprint or whatever, there is representation in him being black and getting paid this much money. You know what I'm saying? And I'll bring it back to even what I said earlier. I'll bring it back to even what I said earlier in the year. I think it was maybe last year when Joe Rogan got that 100 mil for this with a Spotify deal and shit like that. He's a podcaster and shit like that. He's super big, one of the biggest podcasters in the motherfucking world, and this just opens up the lane. So if I choose to, or not, I'm not even gonna say just me. That's fucking selfish. If anybody chooses to follow in those footsteps and do that, you know what I'm saying, you have that avenue and you have that, like I said, blueprint. You know what I'm saying. So you can't be mad at this situation. And on top of that, he only sold 80%. That is a majority, but he still owns 20%. That's still residuals and shit like that. Especially if you my age, I don't specifically seek out information about Jay-Z, about Hov, whatever you want to call him or whatever. About Sean Carter, you know what I'm saying? I don't actively do that because I'm younger, and I'm gonna keep it real. Jay-Z is not one of my favorite artists, but being that he did sign, this is a nice little segue. Being that he did sign my favorite artist, J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he. Damn, I only know. Jay-Z is, that was my point. Jay-Z is most definitely not one of my biggest and favorite artists and favorite influences. I don't like a significant amount of songs and beats that I hear him on and shit like that. But I know he has rappability and motherfucking talent. I give him that. You cannot take that away. And he's a living motherfucking legend, mogul, idol, whatever the fuck you want to call him. But anyway, shout out to motherfucking Jay-Z. But this is a motherfucking. I was gonna talk about this a little later. But it's cool. Great segue. Anyway, J. Cole is today is the 7th. Today is the 7th of May, May 7th, 5/7, 2021. It's probably one of the only days I know in my mind because just cause of this shit. In exactly 1 week, in exactly 7 days, is this shit on? Hello? 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 Yeah. In exactly one motherfucking week, J. Cole will be dropping the album. 24 hours. Well, I don't even. No, it ain't even 24. Approximately 12 hours and 30 minutes ago from now. Last damn, I forgot to listen to it again. It's all right. Last night, J. Cole dropped the interlude to the album, and actually, I was talking to my nigga I was talking to my nigga CM10 Music about this shit the other day. I was like yesterday to be exact. I was like, being that he dropped the Kids on Drugs, and then before that he dropped For Your Eyes Only, which was a more personal album. He was excuse me. He was painting stories of other people's experiences with life and shit like that. I don't know what to expect. I ain't gonna lie. 4 Yards Only, it kind of was underwhelming because all the other shit that he dropped before then. But hey, I've been working on this, especially with my favorite artists. I've been working on this. I don't want to compare them to my favorite albums no more. I don't want to do that because I'm only setting myself up for failure. I'm for any artist, not even just J. Cole, but especially for me with J. Cole when I'm analyzing this situations and everything, the inner workings of the industry and shit like that. As I analyze that with my limited experience, let me say that. And like I said, I don't think it's fair for me to judge Cole off 2014 Forest Hills Drive to this interlude or to this album. I don't think it's gonna sound coherent or it's gonna sound the same or whatever. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get my thoughts on this interlude song. I ain't gonna lie, I played it like 7 times back to back to back to back because initially I didn't like it. Initially I did not, and that's something I gotta keep training myself. When I know artists have a specific sound that I like, and then when they branch out, I hate it at first. The first listen, I don't like it. But me being a fan of music, like I said, I got to break out of that mindset. So that being said, the interlude was cool. I don't. Oh shit, I got my damn light on. Why I got my flashlight on? Anyway, the the inner the song interlude was cool. I liked it, but to me, he didn't say nothing super prolific or whatever. And on top of that, before I even get too deep in this, I typically don't like J. Cole over 808 beats or trap beats. I don't like that. The London, I heard it for once and it was cool, but I'm not about to keep replaying that shit. The song Niggas Won't Smoke. I wanted to Roses Are Red, Diamonds Are Blue. The permanent the song that he did with Young Nudie. My nigga got word like damn, what's that shit called? I don't know. Oh, Sunset. That's what it's called. Sunset featuring Young Nudie. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. Sounds like he didn't write or whatever, and that's cool. But me being a person that, and at the same time, shit, I made the song Mood. I cannot talk shit. That song, sonically, it's not there. Like the vocals and shit, and even me breaking this shit down. Something that I noticed even listening back to Mood. That's not my favorite song to listen back to, but I'm glad I made it. But only like halfway through the song is when I got my vocals warmed up and shit like that. And it's a lot of shit to go along with singing and rapping and shit like that. You got to warm up your vocal cords, and that's something I didn't do or whatever. So just that being a fact, I can't hate. I most definitely can't hate. But let me just get to the meat and potatoes. Me comparing interlude to all this other shit, and keep in mind it's just a single, it's just a song, so it ain't really too much he was saying in the song. But he was talking about black people dying and shit like that. You know the of mothers and shit like that. I'm not gonna go around the list of everything he said because that'd be super lame. But me comparing this to KOD or comparing that to, I don't even want to say Revenge of the Dreamers. I want to. It's just Cole solo project. I'll probably get this shit compared to the KOD shit. I probably get this shit a solid 7, a solid 7, a solid a, a solid 8, a solid 8 out of 10. This song is most definitely 8 out of 10. He and I could tell this song wasn't just one song. This song was a motherfucking statement, and you can tell if you're a Cole fan or whatever. He's gearing up, and the stuff that he was saying in the song. He said this shit. He said that was the first thing he said. He said this shit can go up or this shit can go down. I done seen the highest highs and the lowest lows, and it sounded like he was trying to motherfucking prove a point because he reiterated that at least one more time over. You know what I'm saying? And that being said, that being the motherfucking case, I feel like he's nervous about this drop like more than usual because the old Cole he was always confident, blah blah blah. I never heard or heard those type of sentiments or whatever. But I think obviously the sound of this album that's gonna drop in a week is gonna sound more likely like this interlude shit, and that's cool. That's cool. He want to be on the trap beats and shit like that. That's cool. I understand. You don't want to, and I commend Cole for that. I commend Cole for trying to for not trying for completing switching over to the young style, switching over to those type beats. Maybe not even writing, but still putting out some hot shit. Still putting out got the bars, metaphors, the foundations of rap music, you know what I'm saying? They all up in this shit, and he killing it. The references, all that shit. So that being said, I cannot wait to review the album. But listen, being that J. Cole is the type of artist he is, I hope y'all do not expect me to do that shit within like a day of it dropping, just like I did the song. A song is different than the album. You gotta digest a album, a body of work. The way I like to listen to and review albums is I listen to it front to back one time, and then maybe front to back again, and then I press shuffle, and that's and then I press shuffle and shit like that, and then I rate it and shit like that. So yeah, be on the motherfucking lookout. J. Cole, the off season. The off season dropping 1 week from today, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to J. Cole, Dreamville, Hove, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Moving on, Pandora produces more jewelry than any other company in the world, and on Tuesday it announced a major change. It will not use any more mine diamonds in its products. Sorry, Pandora will not use any more mined diamonds in their products. Lab grown stones have been billed as ethical, traceable. Lab grown stones have been billed as the ethical, traceable alternative to minded mine diamonds. Pandora said they're graded on the same four C's as mine diamonds, aka the cut, the clarity, the color, and the carat. Before they're even sold. So it's virtually the same thing, but I guess it's chemically not because it ain't coming from the same source. Pandora's new collection will also be more environmentally friendly because they have made. Hold on, let me start. Hold up. Pandora's new collection is also more environmentally friendly because they're made with more than 60% renewable energy on average. It expects that the new diamonds will be made with 100% renewable energy when the collection launches. When the diamond collection launches globally. Pandora also announced last June that it will only use recycled gold and silver in its products by 2025. This is big. This is big. And actually, this kind of me reading this article, it brings me back to a earlier episode called "Diamonds Made from Rain." Go check that out on Spotify or whatever. I don't think it's on YouTube, but yeah, go check that. Oh, and if you are watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Give my comments up. I should have said that in the beginning, but fuck it. Anyway, this especially. Let me say. Let me think. Especially Pandora being the biggest. This is a really big step forward it's funny. It's funny how stuff go full circle. I was just talking to Jay about this shit on the last week episode. Renewable energy and stuff like that, just to help save the planet and shit like that. This is really big for the biggest company, the biggest diamond distributor, jewel distributor, jewelry distributor, especially when it comes to diamonds and shit. They're taking an initiative. They're taking an initiative, and honestly, if Pandora could do it, one of the biggest companies or whatever, if they can do it, if they can take that pay cut or whatever, or even if it's probably not a pay cut because normally knockoffs or shit that diamonds or anything that can be made easier. It brings a certain element to to the market in a whole. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then on top of that, recycling silver and gold, like it's only 2021. This brings up a lot of thoughts and questions in my mind. Like this obviously means that we're running low in the reserves that we even know about when it comes to diamonds and shit like that. I know that for a fact because niggas been on the good ever since the gold rush and shit like that. Niggas been looking for valuable things and stuff like that. Even down to the nigga that go to the beach every weekend or whatever just to find some shit in the dirt with the metal detector and shit like that. Humans we've always had an infatuation with shit like that. So you can't be mad when somebody's actually taking the initiative. I just hope that this causes a butterfly effect or chain reaction, if you will, or domino effect, or whatever. That smaller companies will start to do the same motherfucking thing. Because when you think about it, it don't like unless it's just a fake diamond. You're not gonna live longer than a motherfucking diamond. And another thing is, I bet you a lot of rich people and shit like that, pharaohs, they used to do it. Like they get buried with their gold and jewelry. That's selfish as fuck, my nigga. That mean the people on Earth. You dead and gone. Like that was probably what birthed the whole idea of grave robbers and shit like that. Why are you dead with a fucking ring with your wedding ring on and all this shit? Like, my nigga, if you're not gonna pass it down to the family, what is you like? You selfish as fuck. You selfish as fuck. And a lot of people maybe in a certain situation where you live alone and shit like that, you may die and you ain't got nobody to give it to. I understand that situation, but yeah, this just makes me think that Earth, we're just on a small, we just have a small supply of mineable diamonds, left. So we're doing everything we can to make it continue to be what it is or whatever. But shout out to Pandora for having a motherfucking green thumb, and I hope everybody else take the motherfucking initiative. I ain't about to hop too long on this. Oh yeah, Tory Lanez and Chris Brown are joining forces to release a collaboration album. Um, um, um. When I saw this post on Instagram, I think it was a source.com or or all new hip hop, some shit like that. But when I saw this, the first thought that came on my mind, and the first comment I even made on the post, I was like, this is proof that cancel culture doesn't exist. Verbatim I said, oh shit, what I say? I said this is true. This is proof that cancel culture does not exist. Verbatim. And hate them, hate Tory Lanez and Chris Brown, or love them, no matter what. They're gonna make some shit that slap. No pun intended. They're gonna make some shit that's most definitely hard. And honestly, I feel like this is being that I already said this. I'm not gonna keep reiterating on that specific point. Being that cancel culture doesn't exist, we need more people to step up. You know what I'm saying, and be like, and listen, fuck it. We Whenever somebody does wrong, it's okay for the public to um correct them or whatever. But and that's another thing. What's taking so long with this trial? See, and this shows you right here that as long as you have money and shit like that, you can keep the proceedings. You can push the court date on. I'm not saying that he did what he was accused of, or Meg was lying or whatever. Whatever that situation was, it was a bad situation to even be around or be involved in. First of all, but whether Tory did what he did or did what he was accused of or not, whatever, that's hearsay now. I'm just glad to see that, especially bigger artists, they're not just ostracizing him or fucking blackballing him and just saying, nah, fuck you, nigga. I ain't. Especially somebody like Chris Brown. He's been in. I don't even need to tell you about his background. He's been in the spotlight for arguably harming the biggest female artist in the motherfucking world, at least at the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know that if anybody knows how that shit is, Chris Brown does. And on top of that, just their dynamic, their skill, nigga. This is perfect. This is perfect, my nigga. Chris rap a little bit, but he more prolifically known for singing, and Tory can most definitely rap a lot. Like, matter of fact, I think I was talking to my nigga about Tory Lanez or whatever the other day, and that got me to thinking about the rap beef that he had with Joyner a couple months ago, or maybe even a year ago. But by now, yeah, I think it had to be somewhat like a year, because I feel like everybody was stuck in quarantine when they was doing that shit. So yeah, but yeah though, man. And on top of that, like I know for a fact Tory Lanez recently dropped an album, or maybe even two, maybe even three, ever since he dropped the last shit that I did an album review on Daystar. And I've heard nothing but good review. I've heard nothing but good reviews on all those songs, and on, or at least most of those songs. I haven't taken the chance and actually sat down and been like, you know what I'm saying, this is that. I like this, I like that. It's so much new music coming out, especially now. So many motherfucking people are dropping. It's like, yeah, but man, the culture motherfucking need this. You know what I'm saying? I'm 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 not even gonna speak on that domestic situation. All I'm saying is, it, I hope both parties are alright and whatever, and hope motherfuckers can move past this. And if they can't, whatever it is, what it is. I just want it. Me as a fan, I love this shit, and this shit is gonna be historic. Like, this shit gonna be super big, I think this most definitely has the potential to be bigger than the Chris Brown Young Thug album, because honestly, the only standout song that I know was the motherfucking hit, the Go Crazy song. But other than that, I can't sing or name another song off the album. And I even tried to listen to it. I tried to give it a listen, but I just didn't. I don't know what it was. I think it was just too singy. Whenever Thug or anybody just gets too singy, unless you a real singer, unless you Erica Badu, nigga, unless you Daniel Caesar, unless you like Rod Wave, somebody that's really motherfucking singing. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Brown can motherfucking rap, but fuck it. Shout out to Chris Brown. Shout out to motherfucking Tory Lanez. I cannot wait to see this, man. And the comments was funny as fuck. The comments was funny as fuck, man. I think one of them was, they gonna name this album Assault and Battery, or some shit like that. Domestic abuse. It was a whole bunch of names in the comments. That shit was super funny. Shout out to Tory Lanez and Chris Brown. We'll be most definitely checking this out when it drop. Next topic on the motherfucking docket. I don't I don't know where you've been these past couple days. If you own Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever, but hey, something that's been going around on YouTube, on all the social apps, is this Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather confrontation. They met up. It was, I guess it was supposed to be a little standoff, but it didn't seem like nobody was handling them, or somebody was in between them. Like Dana White normally is in a UFC fight when there's a weigh-in and shit like that. So yeah, but anyway, I saw the confrontation. I saw the video and shit like that. And what happened in the video is Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather, they was arguing back and forth. Oh, blah blah blah. Let's get in the ring. I'll destroy you. Blah blah blah. And then Jake decided to say, "Oh, I got your hat. I got your hat." And he took his hat and he like kind of ran with it. And shortly after that, they got into a little scuffle. Eventually, Floyd got his hat back. And Floyd, he was like, "Oh, I'll kill you, blah blah blah." And the only thing I can even say about this is slow clap, slow motherfucking clap. Congratulations to Jake Paul and Floyd motherfucking Mayweather. And on top of that, right before I even turned these cameras on, I was doing some more research, and I saw that Jake Paul is getting, or he got a tattoo that maybe of him snatching the hat out Floyd or whatever, like that. And that one thing, that in itself told me all that I need to know about Jake Paul and the Paul brothers and everything. But at the same time, shit, even back when Logan was videotaping people in a suicide forest. Some people just have no integrity at all. But I'm not. That's that's not my decision. That's not my decision to harp on that. So whatever. I'm gonna just let that be. all I'm gonna say is, yo, this is perfect marketing. This is strategic shit, and this is exactly what you should do if they are in this situation. They're gonna get their ass beat regardless, whether Floyd knocks them out or not. The Paul brothers, they're gonna get their ass beat. But one thing I asked my nigga CMT Music about yesterday was, after this, where can they go? You know what I'm saying? Where can the Paul brothers go? Because if Floyd wanted to, he could he could fight anybody that got a name and actually want to get in the ring with him and get just as much money. Floyd won already before he even stepped in the ring. No matter even if Floyd lose, he won. Even if whatever the fuck happened, even if it don't even matter. It truly don't matter. I just don't see how they can, like, what's after this though. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you planning to stand in the ring with Mike Tyson? Or actually, I don't even think Mike Tyson would do some shit like that. Maybe for a charity, man. Yeah, man. Damn, I can't stop stuttering. Maybe for a charity or some shit like that. But I just don't see it. But shout out to Floyd and Jake Paul. That was great fucking marketing. Great strategic shit, man. Strategic shit. Last topic on the motherfucking docket. Isaiah Rashad recently told the Fader that he is dropping an album called Okay. Isaiah Rashad recently told the Fader that he has an album titled "The House Is Burning," dropping this June, and also in the article I read that he was struggling with addiction and he recently went through rehab in Orange County, and before I even get into how I feel about what I just read, initially how I got into how I got into Isaiah Rashad and watching his shit and listening to his music is he dropped the album, I think maybe 2014 to 15, so damn near like 5 years ago, and in that and on that and on the album, a song that really stood out to me is Fourth Draw Square, or Fourth Drive Square, or something like that. I, Fourth Draw Square, or First Drive Square, or whatever. That was a song that really stood out to me, and honestly, I even bump that song every now and then today. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I just saw so much, and I heard and I felt so much soul in his music and shit like that, and he was way different. He was a real motherfucking artist. Even though he's a rapper, he's an artist. All rappers aren't artists. All rappers aren't. Some rappers they're just in that lane of just rap. But artists, you can it's expanded, man. And I've heard and I've read articles that he was even ghostwriting for a few people or whatever. But listen, it's been about 5 years, maybe even going on 6 years since he even dropped the project. I I cannot wait for this project because, man, he showed so much potential on the last one, and honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I love when artists speak on pitfalls and shit like that I went through, and I most definitely have went through that same or similar situation when it comes to drugs. You know, I was never homeless or whatever. As I read more into that article, whatever, Isaiah was homeless and sleeping on his friend's couch at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? After reaching all this success and not knowing how to deal with the stress and shit like that, it's super easy to fall and just to be like, oh fuck this shit, I don't want to do none of this shit no more. I'm done rapping. I'm done. And I felt the exact same way. I stopped playing basketball like last year. My passion just wasn't in it, and I was just fucking, not last year, but maybe two or 3 years ago. My passion wasn't in it, and I was so motherfucking lost, and it's just crazy. But now I've been gradually getting back in the swing of things, get my shot back right and all that other shit. But anyway, I almost please be on the motherfucking lookout for an album review. The album is called "The House Is Burning." I cannot wait to hear all this shit that the new beginnings, the the shit that he realized. Oh my God, I love struggle rapping and come out rapping. And, man, I was down at my lowest and now I'm coming up. I love that sentiment, man. I love that shit. So, man, shout out to motherfucking Isaiah Rashad and be on the motherfucking lookout for that review. We just hit 30 minutes now. So, anyway, I'm your host OG Odie, and you have been tuned into the Broke Conversations podcast. You know what I'm saying? The world's most poverty-stricken podcast. We motherfucking broke. No money. Anyway, love thy neighbor, lend thy hand, treat others how you want to be treated, and yeah, peace. For a new episode, know you probably waiting. Plant a seed in your brain, let me pollinate it. And I'm not like the rest, I don't do the faking. You are now tuned in to Broke Conversations.